everyone, it's Alisha Braché here at Cosmic Gateway. This is chapter 3, and this message comes from Tuisku. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Beautiful soul sister in Finland. She was inquiring about the new masculine template that's coming online. So just to give a bit of context. So the question is actually, how do we now start to receive and work with the new abilities coming online with this masculine that is essentially being released from the matrix systems? To give a bit of back context in the message that she sent through, talking about and now this is the inner masculine. We're talking about the more inner masculine template that we all hold within us, whether we're female or male. We're talking about the different levels and layers of aspects that are in different dimensions or realms, often cosmic or galactic, that we have, that sometimes we connect with, that are connected to us. They are aspects of us. We may see them as guides or mentors, but essentially they're an aspect of us that we've had an incarnation that is happening simultaneously at this very moment. And what is happening is all those aspects, if they have been under reign or control, and yes, the higher dimensions are often, can be hijacked, manipulated in matrix systems. It's not just here. A lot of that now is unraveling and being freed and liberated from all the different planes of existence and the aspects of us. And that's what happens as part of the soul retrieval process. And so what she was referring to is these galactic aspects that have been hijacked or used for nefarious programs, things that maybe correlate with things like the SSP and different types of programs. They are being asked to, or being controlled by overlords that are essentially ruling this planet or beyond. And that impacts us in relation to the bleed through that we can experience, because it's all part of the one consciousness. It is all us. So that can impact us. And when the bleed through occurs, it can happen to us mentally, emotionally, sometimes even physically. So the good thing is that part and aspect for so many right now is being liberated and restored. And so her question was, now that these abilities and gifts that have maybe been manipulated and used elsewhere have kind of been left or lost or diminished in some capacity, how do we now, as we integrate those liberated masculine aspects of ourselves, how do we work with those gifts and abilities? And I thought, what an incredible juicy question. I don't know the answer, so what happens is when people ask me a question I don't know the answer, I go within and just open up to connect with my higher consciousness. We've got a mosquito buzzing around here. When I connect with my higher consciousness, I then open the pathway or the stream of information to give the answer to come through. And often it's quite profound to my human. I'm like, oh, wow. So I wanted to just on the spot just kind of tune into how do we work with our masculine gifts and abilities that are going to start to become available online and work with. And the first thing that comes through initially is just be gentle and patient with it, because there's a lot of energy of the masculine that's trying to recalibrate in the body and almost land or drop in, almost like when we go through walk-ins or walk-in upgrades. It's not another soul coming in, it's an upgraded version of ourself that's trying to recode into our body and like infuse with our DNA. So it's almost like, I feel like there's a lot of stillness, a lot of just feeling into that energy that's trying to land and ground. And that feels like the first step, is just being present with it and observing it, not necessarily initially trying to work with it, because it feels like it requires a little bit of time for the gifts and abilities to kind of sprout back online. It's almost like the analogy that's coming through is like someone who's been on like the hero's journey and gone on this epic adventure that's been essentially kind of going to hell and back, and then coming home after a long adventure, they don't want to like get up and like start renovating the house or mowing the lawn or doing all those sorts of things. They kind of need this time of consolidation and rest and just being able to be present. I feel like some of the ways that it can be nurtured is to work with your feminine to nurture your masculine, and it's like just doing gentle body movements. It's like, as I'm saying this, it's like it's coming through. It's like it wants gentle body movements. So whether it's yoga or dance or just intuitive kind of movements, it feels like that's part of the reintegration process that's really helpful. The next thing that's coming through is to write, to journal, or to create in some sort of visual representation of artwork. It's like that aspect, that masculine aspect, wants to deepen and strengthen the connection with you in your human form, so that you can have a better understanding of who that aspect is, where they've come from, what they've endured, what they've gone through. And as you go through that process, it's almost like you're going to see aspects of yourself and hardships in your own journey that relate directly to that aspect. And that's when you're going to recognize the bleed through that you've been experiencing probably for many years or a lifetime. It's always been connected with you. So it's like getting to know that aspect. How you can do that is just to sit with intention in meditation and call that masculine aspect in and just feel the presence, or open up a dialogue. And sometimes you can open up a stream of telepathic dialogue of just, as you sit in that presence, it's almost like opening your heart and asking a question in your mind, like, what's the most important thing you wish to share with me right now? And wait for the response to come in. And that's where you open up that telepathic link and dialogue. Another way that you can do that is through automatic writing. So you do the same process. You sit in meditation with the intention, open your heart, have a pen and paper ready, and write that question down. Like, what is it that this masculine aspect wants me to know about him or her? This can be worked in reverse. It doesn't necessarily have to be masculine. It could be feminine aspects. It could be, androgynous aspects. So it's like getting acquainted, just like you would with a new friend or someone you haven't seen in a really long time. Once you establish that point of contact, that's when you can start opening and asking, like, what are your abilities and skills, or what are our abilities and skills? And it's almost like, as you would have soul to soul, or soul, human to higher self, soul interaction, you're literally asking this aspect to guide you and work with you in unraveling these gifts and abilities and what they're there for, what they're designed for, and how you can translate them and utilize them here now in this reality. The final thing that has come up around this is, it's really working with the physical body. So exercise, trainings, like endurance training, getting the body fit, all those sort of masculine aspects, movement feels really important to kind of work with that. And the masculine energy is the one that brings the energy of the ether into physicality. So remember that it's the masculine principle or aspect is very physical, action oriented. So the more you're kind of putting things into action, that is the skill set and ability that's coming through and working through you. So I hope that helps. Not just to work out how to work with a masculine skill set and ability, but you could apply that to many other scenarios. So much love. If you'd like to connect with me one-on-one, all the details. I also have a soul body merge and a soul retrieval mini course with audios that are helpful for these types of integration processes. So check out my website if anything pings that would be helpful for you along the journey. I'd love to be a part of your journey. If not, much love, and I'll see you in the next video.